Hey guys, so I wanted to jump on and just do like a quick video and give you guys some messages. We had another shift that started a few days ago. A lot of like anxiety, a lot of fear energy is coming up. Some of it's like very obvious and like the thoughts are coming up, but some of it's kind of like below the surface where you can kind of feel it like lingering underneath. It's really weird. Energy has been exceptionally strange the last few days where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Some of it's yours, some of it's not yours. It depends on your own situation, you know, how you feel energy and stuff like that. So just feel into like, is this my thoughts or feelings? Is it not? Is it something I need to process, or is it just stuff that kind of needs to come through and just let it come through? The big message I'm getting from spirit though is like, if you're having old thoughts come up and you're seeing things in a different way and you're having old thought patterns and that type of stuff coming up, don't jump back to your old way of doing things. So like if you're the type of person where you feel a certain way, or you get overwhelmed and you run away, like instead of running away, sit in the discomfort, breathe through it and work through it and process it and let it go. And then you're going to be like, okay, I want to move forward. So some of you guys are starting to see like how you either run toward or you run away or both. So it's coming up in a little bit of a different way to like help you see that and reflect on how you kind of do things and like your patterns with that type of stuff. But also they're saying like you might not be having a lot of intuition at this time. So trust what you already know. Like you already know stuff. You were already given the answers like ahead of time. So trust what you know, not just what you're hearing and feeling, because some of this is just fears and like deeper things coming up. And every fear you're having is not always as literal, and every thought you're having is not always as literal as you think it is. Like it might be like a specific fear about this, but the underlying thing is, you know, losing a person and, you know, worrying that they're going to leave your life and they're going to like not be there for you and you're never going to have them in your life. But it might come up as like a very odd fear. So when you kind of go into it, you can really reflect and see what are my deeper feelings with this. So you can kind of give yourself some comfort, reassurance, validation, stuff like that. So I'm just going to pull like a few cards and just kind of see what spirit wants. Like I've been kind of just drained and stuff. I've been getting hit with it really hard the last few days, trapped in fear. I'm telling you, like the fear, anxiety energy has been fucking intense as fuck lately. So, but they wanted me to pull cards. So we got 876. So for some of you guys, it might feel like you're going backwards. You're not. Even if it seems like you're doing old behaviors or old thoughts, old patterns, you're not actually going backwards. You're just seeing something from a different perception. Kind of what they're showing me is almost like, what's that movie? Like the Scrooge movie? Like, I forget what it's called. I only know the Matthew McConaughey, like Ghosts of Girlfriend's Past. Like how, you know, he sees things from his perspective. And then kind of what's going on for a lot of people right now is spirit's kind of bringing you back to the past to show you things as they truly are, not the way you perceive them, because a lot of times you're perceiving them through your trauma and through your ego and not how they actually are. So you're being able to like having the opportunity to kind of go back and see things in a different way. So you're not going backwards. You're just now getting like the perception changes and you're seeing things in a different way. So if that's what's going on, don't think you're going backwards. You're not. Like you're still having the awareness. You're still moving forward with what you want, you know, all that. Okay. Oof, oof, oof. We got positive movement forward, and spirit saying even if you cannot see it, you're still moving forward. Okay, like you're still going forward, like you're still working toward what you want. A lot of people are kind of jumping around a lot where they're in like the energy where it's like, oh my God, it feels like it's coming. It feels like it's here. It feels so soon, and you can feel the positive excitement. And then it goes almost to the complete fucking opposite. And then you're in this like void energy and you're like, it feels like it's never going to happen. Like, why did I feel like it was coming? And then it's not. There's a deeper energetic thing you're healing that you just don't have awareness to right now. If you had awareness, you would bypass it. So like you're having to sit in these discomfort and you're working through something. You'll understand what it is at the time, but you're working through something. What you want is still coming. Just try to be patient with yourself, okay? Try to be patient with yourself and other people, because a lot of people are in these type of energies. They don't know how to communicate them. A lot of people aren't even sure exactly what they're feeling or why. I think a lot of people don't realize how spiritual a lot of these experiences are, or like how much energy is coming in. And I'll talk to people who don't have the like the self-awareness to energy stuff, and they're like, oh, I have this and this and this going on. I'm like, it's energy. And they're like, no, it's not. I'm like, okay. but it is. And it's a group of us going through the exact same fucking situation, like the sleep issues right now. A lot of us are having nightmares, very, very weird, vivid dreams, but very different than our normal ones, not necessarily soul messages and clearing and releasing, just very weird ass dreams. Almost like we're a totally different like person or entity like in this dream than when we are now, but it actually has people in our dreams that we know in this life. It's extremely odd. And then like waking up in the middle of the night, the sleeping, not being able to go to sleep until a certain time or way later than normal. Just shit like that. A bunch of us are in energetic cycles. We're all getting sent the same energy to go through certain transitions together. So a lot of times I think people don't have the awareness to that, and they don't talk about it, or they don't really know how they actually feel. They don't know how to process their feelings. They don't know how to communicate their feelings. So be patient with people, because a lot of people are going through the same thing as you. Some people are going through a little bit tougher. Some people don't have really the coping skills to be able to handle it, you know, as well as other people who've maybe been through it, you know, a lot more. I know for me, I have a lot of times I have a hard time dealing with stuff, but I feel like I have such an inner strength and resilience because of my childhood that I'm so fucking used to, the chaos and the drama and the ups and downs from my childhood that like, it's not necessarily easier for me, but I'm more used to it. And I think the more used to something you are, it is easier to handle, because you have that perception that, okay, this will pass because it always has passed. And other people who maybe haven't had those type of upbringings or haven't had like those type of experiences is hitting them a little bit harder because they haven't had that outlet. They haven't had that, I shouldn't say outlet, they haven't had that experience or understanding. So for them, it's like, shit, it's really unknown. It's really unfamiliar. I don't know how to handle myself in this chaos. And for them, they almost like kind of need to retreat because they feel very alone. They don't really understand what's going on. Like think about a kid being put into an unfamiliar situation, because essentially your inner child is going through that. And I noticed there's two kinds of groups with that. There's like the one group who's kind of struggling with it, where it's very unfamiliar, the emotions and feelings they're going through and stuff like that. And they're struggling, their inner child's kind of freaking out. The other group is very aware of that type of stuff, but the problem with them is they can't see the next step forward. So they're having to sit in the discomfort of the unknown, where they're normally like okay in chaos because they understand it and know it. Now they're having to sit with the discomfort. So both groups are kind of going through that inner child fear and like learning how to calm it down and find peace with it and stuff. But we got root chakra and temptation. So a lot of you guys, this is working through those fears where you run away from them. This is working through kind of what I said earlier, like working through things like you're running away from, you're trying to avoid people, situations, feelings, emotions, things like that. Go into it. They're always safe to go into. There's nothing wrong with going into a fear. It doesn't make it happen. As much as we're kind of told like, oh, if you think this, it's going to make it happen. That's not fucking true. Think about how many times we have fears and worries about shit, like thousands of times, and not one of them ever comes true. Okay. Like, no. There's a deeper reason for that, and you're supposed to be going into it and you're clearing some deep ass root chakra stuff. I'm also getting from spirit, soul connections are clearing fears and trauma within their connection, especially related to past lives. So if you've had a past life, like if you have a soul connection in this life and you had a past life with them, which most of the time you do, you're clearing kind of the fears from that, so you guys can come together and not have like all the old shit kind of standing in your way. And I keep, and as they just said that, oof, I just saw this beautiful image. Like when you come together, it's just going to be calm. Like it's just going to be easy. Even if you've been with them before, something like that, like in a soul partnership, maybe there was a lot of, you know, dysfunction or back and forth and all this stuff, but that's part of the purpose, is for you guys to be clearing this like individually. So when you do come back together, you can have all the dreams that you wanted. And they're saying like the visions you had are still true. Like, oof. The visions you had are still true. Like they're still coming for you. Like even if you can't see it right now, they're still coming for you. We got trapped in fear, deception and envy, material and spiritual prosperity. Look at all that masculine energy right there. I think a lot of us are in the masculine right now when we're clearing those shields. So areas where, look at how, when you get afraid of something, okay? Like I think, hold on. Spirit's saying like, a lot of your fears are being brought up at this time, because what they're trying to do is have you kind of see through what the fear actually is. Like, kind of what I said in the beginning, like earlier, like where it might seem like this is the fear, but it's not actually that fear. Kind of, this is literally what I already said, but I'm going to explain it a little bit different the way they're giving it to me. It's like you have a fear of something, but it's not really that. It's the fear of losing something. It's the fear of, you know, this falling apart and now they're not going to be in my life at all. Shit like that. So it doesn't, the fear doesn't come in that way. They're trying to help you see that and work through that, because a lot of times, and help you like reflect on that so you can actually move toward what you want. But a lot of times what happens is you'll go backwards and you'll retreat and you'll throw a masculine shield up where you're like, you know what, actually, I'm not going to do this. You know, actually, I don't feel this way. You know what, actually, and you go into all these actually, and you're like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to whatever. And you'll run away and you'll put the wall back up and the shield back up. And Spirit's trying to give you that awareness, and they keep still showing me this window. Like you seeing into, like I said, the ghost of girlfriend's past, like you're seeing into that past, so you can heal that and bring awareness to it and clear it and stuff like that. And as I'm saying that, I'm hearing all this like other people's chatter of like especially people in relationships, soul relationships. This is the thing, you already know. Like even if you're questioning it, like you already know the truth. One of the best ways to tell with a soul relationship, there is such a, no matter what happens, hi baby, there is such a deep love and respect for that person, appreciation. Like you don't want to lose them in your life, even when you're scared of losing them. And sometimes what you'll do is, you try to protect yourself by trying to like push them away. If you feel like you're not good enough or you feel like you're not worthy, you'll try to push them away. But some people, they're scared of receiving love, so they'll push them away for that reason, because they're scared of receiving love. And the other group is scared of them leaving, and it's almost like they push them away to see if they'll come back or stay. So it's kind of two different groups. You'll know which one you are, and you might actually go in and out of both. But you can feel it. It's just such a pure, genuine like connection. I mean, you can describe it, but a lot of people say it's like indescribable, which is partially true, but you can feel it. There's just such a soft genuineness to it, and such a like a kindness to it. Even if, you know, your ego and your logical mind has fears and, you know, all this shit come up at a soul level, when you connect to it, you can feel like you have so much trust for them. Like they're people that you actually truly want in your future. They're actually kind of always what you've dreamt of and wanted, but you're too scared to kind of receive. Damn. Okay. Archangel Raphael, like just popping the fuck out too. The femme ones too. Yeah. They're the ones that like you would want to start a family with. They're the ones that you could see as like your husband or wife. They're the ones that like you can see like long-term future, even if there's a lot of fear standing in the way, like, you know that. A lot of times like the karmic, we'll call it karmic because that's the way everybody knows that. There is a pulling toward them, but if you actually go into the pulling toward them, it's actually a trauma. It's an unmet need. And when you actually go into the energy, you realize you don't love them. Like you might tell yourself you love them, but when you actually go into the energy, you realize you don't love them. It's an inner child need that's actually pulling you toward them. And you just keep this cycle. It's usually very toxic. There's not respect there. There's not like a lot of empathy and understanding. And it's just a very different type of relationship. And if you start going into your energy, you already kind of know it, but you just try to avoid it because sometimes you can't leave that relationship for whatever, like lessons you're learning and shit like that. Spirit's like showing me this key unlocking, and they're saying like, this is going to resolve itself. Like you're going to get the clarity and answers you need. So hopefully this just kind of like, you know, opened some of the messages up that you needed, but you will get the full clarity you need when you're supposed to. And we got on the bottom, we have patience with yourself and others, which I told you before, but you are getting pieces of the puzzle. Like you're already getting them. You're getting them as you need them. And it feels like some of you guys are asking for more and needing more. You just don't know what to do. Just give it time. But stop trying to people please. Like stop trying to do things for others. What is this card popping out? 3 of air. Okay, I'm going to tell you what this is. Stop trying to do things for other people and do them for yourself. Like that's literally the most important thing. Like do what's in alignment with you. For people who are in kind of those unhealthy, toxic relationships, it almost feels like you're giving and giving and giving because you're trying to get a need met. You're trying to be perfect. You're trying to do all these things right. And you're never going to be because you already know it's not the right person. So why do you keep putting yourself, like they're showing me this shovel, like you just keep digging your hole deeper. Why do you keep doing that to yourself? And I ask you that as a question of self-reflection, not as a question of like shame. of asking, why am I doing that? Like, ask yourself, why am I doing that? And go into that. Why do I feel like I have to keep proving my worth? Why do I feel like I have to keep doing for other people? Why do I keep feeling like I'm not good enough? And go into that. And that's where you're going to get answers and clarity where you can change your behaviors moving forward. You might have fears and other things coming up. The logical mind, the analytical mind might start, chattering, but like, what's best for you, and you'll start making different choices even when you're afraid. And then you can start communicating those with the right person. The right person will always hear you. The right person, if you are in a true soul connection, generally speaking, you can usually feel their energy. I mean, for some of us, like, I can feel a lot of people's energy, but like when you're in a true connection, a lot of times you can just feel like what the other person needs. Like, you'll just naturally say what the other person needs, whether it's a trigger response, or it's like to give you the validation you need, and it just always naturally happens. Or you're asking for like clarity or answers, and they'll say it to you without you even asking the question, because they can just energetically feel, and they'll just naturally say it. Like, your souls are communicating constantly, so they're telling each other, even if there's no conscious thought to it, and most of the time there isn't, you're naturally doing that. So when you kind of reflect, you're like, oh shit, like, they just told me what I need to hear, or oh shit, I was just questioning that or wondering that, and you'll start seeing what I'm talking about. They want me to pull from the fairy deck after that. Okay, so for some of you, like, I saw this card and I didn't pull it, and then this card just popped out. This one, and then this card popped out, and I'm getting the same fucking message. I think it's just because I kind of not ignored it. Ooh, we got lovers underneath. Ooh, ooh. It just feels like the feminine is working toward kind of coming into her energy, and she's supposed to be doing this. Like, it's not you're leaving anybody behind or anything behind. Just keep working on yourself. Like, just keep going within, feeling into your energy and your emotions and stuff like that. It feels like the masculine is somehow protecting you or watching over you, like he's guarding. It almost feels like even if you're not in a relationship with them, somehow they're energetically guarding your relationship. They're kind of, even if it's just a friendship at this point, they're kind of keeping it quiet and keeping it to themselves, because they're trying to keep other people's energy out of it. And it feels like somehow they're protecting you or keeping you safe or something like that. And for some of you, it almost feels like they're trying to maybe space from you or distance from you, because they're trying to keep you at a distance from everything they're going through. They're not like trying to ignore you. They're trying to like push you away, but not actually push you away, because they're going through so much. They don't want to hurt you or bring you kind of into the trauma and all the emotions. Feels like some of them are in a lot of chaos right now, like a lot of like ups and downs, just a lot of emotional, just like, I just almost just see this like fucking tornado, but not even a tornado, just like not the cyclone part of it, just like the spinning of energy. And it's like, it's just fucking spinning. Like, it's not going anywhere. It's just sitting there. And they're in that right now, and they don't want you to get pulled into the bullshit. So they're trying to protect you, even if it maybe seems like it not. But it feels like somehow they're watching over you, like they're looking at your pictures or social media, things like that. You might energetically be able to feel them too. You might not. It doesn't matter. But yeah. Okay. Hold on. I gotta sneeze. Maybe. Whew, hold on. I do get some of you guys, or especially the feminines, are kind of coming in and out of like creative energy. Like, you're kind of getting like ideas, like the seeds are being planted for stuff. It's already kind of been planted, and you're kind of working toward it. It might be something you used to do in the past, or something that interests you in the past is kind of coming back around. And it might not be the full thing right now. You're just kind of in prep mode. But once you're kind of out of a certain cycle, you're going to be getting back into that and getting into your energy and empowerment. The masculine, it feels more so like their energy, like I said, is that chaos. It feels like they're cleaning shit up right now. Like, they're in a lot of chaos. They're having to be like forced to sit in it, but they're cleaning shit up. They're trying to plan shit for the future. They're trying to figure out like, all right, I know what the fuck's going on. And it feels like they are making steps toward the future, and they're like planning kind of things that you might not be seeing to help kind of move things forward. You just might not be able to see it. And it feels like they're hiding it for some reason. It almost feels like they're worried like they might run backwards, or they might fuck it up, or something might change it. Like, it almost feels like something was coming forward, and something, like they did something and it changed what they actually wanted. Like, they made it like a choice. And I keep hearing like, I fucked up, I fucked up, I fucked up. Like some type of guilt choice. Like, they know they fucked up and did something that like hurt you. Okay. Like the feminine. And it's like, I know I fucked up. I'm trying to fix it right now. like I see that I did, and it's like they don't want to tell you because they don't want you to be let down again in case there's a delay, in case there's some type of like interference. They don't want to let you down again. So they're kind of planning it and preparing it and trying to figure it out so it can be like safe and like stable, like it wasn't the last time, because it feels like whenever this happened, it wasn't that way last time. So they're trying to help bring that stability this time. So if they're not talking to you about it, you know, don't take it personal. You can probably energetically feel it anyway. Like I know I keep saying this in readings, and I'm saying it for a reason, because I feel like some people watch every reading, which there's nothing wrong with that, but some people I think take shit and make it what they want it to be. And it's like anything that I'm saying should give you clarity and validation to what you already know and you're already feeling. It shouldn't be like this totally new concept, like, oh, maybe that's what it is. Oh, maybe like you would be able, as I'm saying it, because I'm saying it with words, but you're also feeling my energy and intention too. So as I'm saying it, it would almost be like this sense of relief in your body where you're just like, oh shit, that's what's going on. You see what I'm saying? Like things like that. And I don't know why I felt compelled, like I have to say that, but for whatever reason, you know, like obviously every message is not going to be for every person, but like you will feel it as I'm saying it if the message is for you. And not every message will probably be for you, but this definitely feels like a very specific group of people, like I'm channeling, who are really close to the end of the cycle, and you already know you're close to the end of the cycle. And yeah, we keep saying that, but like spirit timing is not fucking human timing. Like me, you know, like my soul's like chill bitch, but like human Brittany's like, let's go. Like, let's go. But I'm actually that type of person, I think, in general. I notice that is like when I have an idea, I just want to go with it. And it's funny because like Tauruses, we are very like stable and solid with our choices. But for me, it doesn't take me a long time to analyze in my head risk versus reward. For me, it's like, okay, well, this could be a problem, this could be a problem, this could be a problem, but we can fix it this way, this way, this way, blah, 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 blah. And I go through this whole logical fucking analytical, you know, plan in my head. And I could, when I opened my shop, literally got the message the night before, and within a few hours, I was like, great idea, because if this happens, then this, and this, and this, and this, and it's obviously worked out fine. And I think now I also have so much trust too, that like with the divine, that like, you know, if some shit's supposed to change, then it's going to change, like, and it will happen the way it's supposed to happen. So for me, I'm very much like that, where I'm like, let's go. Like, why are we waiting? And I know other people are like, all right, I need some time to work through this, to work through this, to work through this. So I'm learning how to kind of slow down in the process. And I think other people are learning how to speed up. I think we're learning how to kind of get in the middle and stop being one way or the other. But I noticed April Tauruses were like, let's move. And like May Tauruses are, I call them the turtles, like the rabbit and the fucking, wait, is it the rabbit? Wait. Tortoise and the hare. Why did I say rabbit and the hare? I have no fucking idea. Tortoise and the hare. Like May Tauruses are like the tortoises when it comes to big things or things they're scared of, and April Tauruses are like, they're out like, let's go. But one is not always better than the other. Sometimes it's a combination of both that makes shit actually like solid and work. So yeah, anyway, okay, we got 8 of Raphael, Queen of Raphael, 4 of Michael. We're doing these together and that together. Remember how I said treasure box? We actually got this one last time too. But remember how I said treasure box last time? This keeps popping up actually. Something with this treasure. I don't know exactly what it means. It feels just like this, like abundance energy. Like what you're wanting is going to be coming in. For some of you, it's like a money thing, like like as literal as it seems. Hold on. Let me tell you this so I don't forget what they just said. Sometimes what comes through is not as literal as you think it is. Like how I said, like the fears and stuff, they're not always like that literal. Or sometimes when you feel like something's wrong, even if it's not wrong, try to go into it rather than like letting the ego come up, because the ego will bring up like worst case scenarios. And when you can go into it, it might just be a sadness, or it just might be like something from the past that you're releasing or something like that. So, you know, everything that comes in isn't always as it seems, especially when it's thoughts. Okay. So they just wanted me to remind you of that. Anyway, with this treasure, for some of you, it feels like financial abundance. It feels like a lot of people are going through this maybe since August-ish. Some of you end of July, maybe August-ish, where finances seem to kind of like be at an all-time low. Maybe like, you know, repairs are taking place, or money is not really coming in. You're not making as much and stuff like that. It's going to just randomly happen. It feels for most people, like toward the end of September, like the very last of September, like some type of abundance or something like that's just going to kind of come in. For some of you, it's like your business is going to get more sales. You're going to start doing something extra at your business to be making more money, or something's going to shift with like an advertising thing. Some of you are also, I feel like, getting bonuses or checks or something like that, or you're going to be just getting like money out of kind of nowhere. Somebody's going to just send you a gift. Like, obviously that might not be for everybody, but it feels like a majority of people, like that's going to happen, like mostly toward end of September, some October, like beginning, but I feel mostly end of September. With the Queen of Raphael, it feels like a lot of you guys are learning to trust your intuition and the messages you're getting, which we got follow your heart, a love of home and family, trustworthy psychic information. We got this exact card last time. It's almost the exact same message. However, some of you guys are learning to communicate from your heart, and come together from your heart and not push people away and calm your emotions down and stop running. And some of you, it's also learning how to understand your own emotions and other people too, where a lot of times we go into this kind of self-protection energy where we're trying to like get our needs met. And so we're kind of ignoring other people's, or we go into people-pleasing mode where we're ignoring our own feelings. And most of us go in and out of both. And we're learning how to be in the middle. We're like, okay, what are my needs? What are their needs? Like, let's stop taking everything so fucking personal. Like, why are they doing this? Why am I doing this? How do we meet in the middle? Not with everybody, because obviously if you're in unhealthy relationships or dysfunctional relationships, it's not going to work. You already know that. Those, to me, I feel like are being like cleared up as I'm saying this. Like, those are already being cleared. And I'm hearing Saturn. I don't know what's up with Saturn. Is it in retrograde? I have no idea. They're saying Saturn specifically, so I don't know what the fuck that means. And this is what I mean. So like, this is exactly what I meant when I said sometimes shit's not as literal. So the word Saturn comes in. I have no idea what it means. So of course my mind goes like the planet. Okay, maybe it's in retrograde. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's this. It could be something completely fucking different. It might not have shit to do with the way my mind is processing it. Could be somebody's like, give me the sign Saturn as like a planet if this is true. It could be like random ass shit like that, but we have the thought come in. We'll know what the message is when we're supposed to, if the message is for us. So sometimes it's not as literal as that, if you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, the Four of Michael, yeah, I'm going to just read the bottom. Insights that come from the quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off, seek relief from stress. A lot of you guys are probably in hermit mode. You're probably wanting to stay away from people. Take time for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't want to talk to people, if you don't want to go to work, you don't want to do shit, like take time for you. Ask Spirit to help guide you and assist you with it, and just go within. Like when you go within and you quiet your mind and you stop running away from shit, you get clarity and answers. And they're showing me the card, the Five of Gabriel, where you're getting pieces of the puzzle. It's not going to be all the time. Like for me, I've been kind of going through it for like 2 or 3 days, and I can in and out feel sometimes intuitively, but not really that like boom, like when I ask them or feel into the energy and I'll get like that immediate clarity. No. But when I was outside earlier today, I was saying like a prayer and I was just kind of trying to relax. I was in my house getting hit with somebody's energy and probably my own too, and getting just this overwhelmed feeling earlier. And I was like, let me go outside. Let me just step away from everything in the house. Let me just go outside and breathe. And as I'm kind of talking to them and stuff like that, I just started getting clarity on some shit that's been going on the last few days that's been triggering the fuck out of me. And I was just like, oh, whew, I almost feel like I want to cry as I said that, because I energetically can feel it without, the mind and stuff. So yeah, just try to take time, especially if you have a lot of stuff going on, to sit in silence, or put on binaural beats, like just not people around, not noise, not distracting with your phone and TV, like shit like that. Just go calm your mind down. And when you do, a lot of times you'll get answers, but also that shouldn't necessarily be the intention. It should just be because you actually deserve that peace and to help you, whatever. For some of you, I'm definitely getting meditation will be good for you. So going into meditation is going to give you some clarity and some answers and kind of understanding to some of your racing thoughts. Because some of you guys, it feels like you have racing thoughts and fears coming up and you don't understand why. And I'm still getting that same message that the fear that you have is not the fear you think it is. It's something at a deeper level. And it's almost like you've been hiding it from yourself. And I'm seeing this wall and this blockage and like at the deep, like almost, I'm going to tell you what it feels like. For some of you, it feels like love. Like you have a person you love, you want to be with, but you keep trying to block it somehow, and you keep trying to tell yourself shit. And then all these fears keep coming up with that person. And it's like, if you go into it and you go deeper, you're going to actually see it's like because you genuinely love that person, but there's something within you that's scared of stepping forward. There's some type of fear, some type of not enoughness, worthiness thing, things like that. And so you have this wall up with them. They can feel it, by the way. Spirit's like, they can feel that shit. And you know they can feel that too. But you have to go into it and breathe through it and let your wall down and let your guard down and allow those things to open. The more you try to avoid them, the less you're going to actually get what you want, the more uncomfortable you're going to be. And there's just going to keep being like chaos and stuff. So it's important to kind of sit with your stuff and see, you know, what's really going on with you so you can kind of resolve it. And really it's just, I say it's easy, but I mean, it's just simple, like taking time, whatever that means, to be by yourself and just letting everything kind of come up, listening to what's coming up and just going into it and saying, why am I feeling like that? What's this remind me of? What's this coming up? Sometimes just asking yourself, like, what am I feeling? Okay, why am I feeling that? What's my emotion behind that? Or you can start with, what is my emotion right now? What am I feeling physically in my body? Is there a reason for that? What is this, like, what is the fear here? Why am I feeling anxious? Kind of going into things like that, and you'll start seeing things a little bit clearer. And it's getting like that self-awareness and stuff, so you can continually do this. So a lot of it's easier. You don't have to necessarily change anything. You just have to kind of go into it and see what's actually going on. And as you're going into it, you get to know yourself a little bit better. So when things do come up, you kind of know how to work through it. You know how to calm yourself down. You know how to get like the awareness and stuff like that. So you can say, okay, how am I acting? Maybe there's a, you know, different choice I need to make, or something I need to stop running away from, or behavior change, or, you know, things like that, where sometimes it's just a perception change. It's not these big giant ass things we always think we need to do. It's accepting that we have these feelings. They're okay. Even if they're not real and true, they're still valid and they're okay. They're like that, probably because something from the past, and not thinking there's something wrong with us, not trying to fix us, more so being understanding and empathetic toward ourselves, and then making choices that are best for us instead of running away in fear. So anyway, I hope that this helped. I hope you guys all have an awesome day. And just as the energy is coming in, just try to calm yourself and breathe. Like as I'm talking to you, I'm getting like all this like chest energy, this third eye energy, this like heat in my body. It's just been a lot. So I'm probably going to actually just go lay down and rest. So yeah. Anyway, take care of you guys, yourselves. Wow, I can't talk. Take care of yourselves, guys. And I hope you guys have an awesome day.